Hey folks, I'm John Kay. You know the Ren and Stimpy guy? Listen, I got a cartoon I'm dying to make, and I'd love to do it just directly for you without having to go through a whole bunch of TV executive rigmarole. So this Kickstarter thing is really great. It's a way for guys like me to make the stuff directly for you. This cartoon that I want to make is partly done, and it stars a guy that you might remember from the Ren and Stimpy show. It was George Liquor, American. George Liquor, American! Who was Ren and Stimpy's master. He took them to the dog show. He bought them from the pet store, and he's kind of based on my dad. He has a lot of traits in common with my dad, who raised me through discipline. So this particular story is called Cans Without Labels, and it's based on true life experiences, things that happened in our family when I was growing up. My dad was from the greatest generation. You know, he grew up in the Depression, had a hard life, and so that's why George Liquor is kind of based on him. My dad believed in discipline. He also believed in fiscal responsibility, unlike the governments. In fact, when we were kids, we didn't get any brand name products. Like, there was none of this. Too expensive. We certainly didn't get this. And rarely did we get real cereal. And every kid craves real cereal, right? Instead, what we get is we get the generic stuff, because this is about, 1/10 of the price of the real thing. Of course, it tastes like crap, but didn't matter, ketchup's ketchup. And we used to get this like fake supermarket brand cola-like substance. We had one called, our local supermarket was named Loblaws, if you can believe that. That's a Canadian supermarket. Loblaws brand cola-like goo. Oh, and, of course we all wanted to have the real cereal, and it had prizes. We used to get great prizes like the ones I'm going to give you. But the thing is, my dad would never buy the brand name cereal. Instead, he would buy these giant, actually it was like 10 times this size, giant bags of generic puffed wheat. The stuff that you got the little skins caught in your teeth and everything? It's disgusting. No prizes, of course. It's like a 10-year supply. Not only that, look, here's a real character, beautifully drawn by a professional artist. The generic stuff always had the ugliest, crappiest goddamn, here's better. Who wants that? You want this crap? Not me. But we were lucky if we got an off-label brand. What my dad really liked to feed us, and you're not even going to believe this crap. You ready for this? That's no label at all. These here, folks, these are cans without labels. My dad loved this stuff. He couldn't get enough of it. The bigger they were, the better. Because what they used to do is they'd have these damaged cans in the supermarkets, and they wouldn't know what was in them, so they just mark them down. 3 cents, 2 cents, 1 cent. So my dad would go to the store and he'd buy up every can. And he came home and he built these shelves and he just filled them. He built these shelves in the basement, and he filled them with these cans. We could hear him down there hammering and moving the cans around, chuckling insanely to himself because he was saving a buck. Holy crap. So whenever we heard him rustling with the cans downstairs, we'd take off. We'd try to escape, but he always locked the front door, so we were doomed. And we'd hear him coming up the stairs. Kids, you're in for a treat today. Look what we got. Mystery can. We're like, oh no, please, Dad. No mystery can. And he'd say, what are you talking about? It's going to be something good in here. I said, Dad, how do you know what the hell's in the can? He goes, I got a system. See that? I studied. I memorized all these. First, you count the rings. There are 27 rings here. It's got a silver label. I'll tell you what that is. It's peaches. Let me tell you something. There were never any goddamn peaches in these cans. Never. It was always something completely hideous. Like, you'd open it up. You'd open the damn can. And here's the thing, too. He had a rule. It's like, even if, he would guess what was in it, the guess was always wrong, but he'd always say, just before he opened the can, now remember, kids, once we open this can, you have to eat whatever's in it. Of course, it wouldn't be peaches. So he'd open the thing up, and it would be something like you couldn't even believe it. Like a goat bladder. One day we had a goat bladder. Another time it was like diced kitten cubes. And it's like, we have to put this stuff down. We're like, oh, we don't eat the little kittens, Daddy. Eat the goddamn kitten. Do you know how many starving African babies would kill for some nice kitten cubes like these? So, that's what this cartoon is about. George Licker is going to give his little kids the most wonderful treat for lunch. He's going to feed them cans without labels. So here's what we have so far. We did all the storyboards. Here's some scans of them. And we also did all the layouts. We had the genius Jim Smith do most of the layouts. What's a layout, you say? Come on, I'll show you. So here are the layouts. Now, layout is what we do before it goes to animation. We pose out the whole cartoon. We draw all the acting, all the specific poses, and then it goes to the animator who moves it. So, for example, here's a scene drawn in pencil the old way. Remember these things? It's like rock tools. So here's the scene where George is explaining to the kids how he can tell what's in the can without a label. Looky here, boys! He looks at the can. I got a system! So he studies it. He studies it intensely. He blinks a couple times. Oh, he's starting to get an idea. Then he looks at the top of it. This one's got a gold lid. He thinks about that. 2 rings in it. Then he studies the rings around the side. It's got 3 rings around the middle. What could it be? And he calculates for a bit. He puts it all together. Finally, he says, he realizes what's in it, and he says, bingo! And he looks at the kids, all proud. And he says, it's beef stew!
Looky here! Let's see now. This one's got a gold lid, 2 rings in it, and 3 rings around the middle. And now the slosh test. Bingo! It's beef stew!
So if you want to see what's in this can, help me finish the cartoon.
Once we open this can, we have to eat whatever's in it.